All right. Um, Thank you so much for joining us. We are happy to have you on this bit of a discussion, bit of a presentation on financing for AI-enabled tools for healthcare professionals, clinicians, and lab scientists. So we'll quickly get on to it. We believe by now you may have had a few, you know, well, I say conversations, readings, and stuff about AI in healthcare, and perhaps you are considering having it to, getting one for yourself. You want to understand how it works, what are the opportunities. We have a whole bunch of resources talking about AI in healthcare and looking at all the intricacies, looking at all the different things, medical professionals, researchers, clinicians, and everyone interested in the application of AI to healthcare, the things they need to know. So, but today we are trying to look at more like I say like the funding landscape. I mean the financing landscape. Trying to say, okay, what are the financing options? Because, well, whether you like it or not, at the end of the day, being able to afford some of these tools is more like the elephant in the room when the decisions come beyond, okay, is it worth it? Does it make sense? And of course, does it serve the patients? Will the solution help us work better? Achieve better outcomes for everyone, especially the patients. So beyond that, the question is, are we going to be able to afford these tools? Um, and if we afford it, does it make sense? So today we're basically like trying to do like an intro to some of the conversations we'll be having in the coming weeks. So we expect to have similar conversations every other week. And you know, probably I mean every week to be honest, like and look at various aspects of challenges healthcare professionals face when they are trying to integrate and use AI-enabled tools. So, without wasting further time, um, let's get down to it. Now, so obviously, I mean, we are witnessing the impact of AI around the world, in various aspects of our lives. Of course, the internet is all about AI for a long time now, but beyond that, so many other industries, agriculture, transportation, name it, they are all experiencing, various forms of transformation um, with AI. And of course, healthcare in the past years, healthcare has experienced the transformative force of AI in various ways, from personalized healthcare, drug discovery, um, decision support systems, process optimization systems, and a whole lot of tools out there trying to look at how we can improve healthcare. And of course, the biggest one, diagnostics. Leveraging image recognition and other technologies. So yeah, but then the fact is, people say will AI take jobs, but the fact is AI may not take jobs. But then the medical professional who uses AI, of course, is likely to be way ahead of the guy that doesn't use it. So that's like where the opportunity is, and the we believe in the coming months, years, there will be much more, way more fantastic applications in various aspects of healthcare. They're getting results, and we expect that to 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 continue to increase with the aim of eventually helping to realize better outcomes for everyone in the healthcare space. Yeah, so now, like I mentioned, we've seen it in enhanced patient outcomes, streamlined workflows, improved diagnostics, refining patient care, personalized healthcare, amplified clinical efficiency, and a whole bunch of benefits being realized in various aspects of healthcare. Now, before trying to take on some of these tools, it's important we encourage healthcare professionals and healthcare systems to sort of like sit down and analyze what they are trying to get into. I mean, of course, the benefits are there. We know them. We are aware of them. But it's important to sort of like say, okay, what area do we really need to, take on AI-enabled solutions in? Um, how do we go about it? The funding, the training, the use, how does it make business sense? How does it improve our work overall? So these are some of the questions that clinicians, researchers, and everyone trying to explore some of these tools should be asking even before getting the tools to use. It's very important. Um, Now, when you decide you want to go for these things, the question is, what are the funding challenges? How do I afford it? If I have the money, how do I go about it? And if I don't have the money, well, how do I get the money to do it? Of course, if you're generating profit, you can hand it into your purse and afford it. But then, if you don't have enough money, how do I go about affording it? So, but overall, developing some of these things cost money. I mean, huge demand in terms of data, the research, and all that. So naturally, even apart from AI-enabled tools, most developments in healthcare cost money. Take drug development, for instance, takes lots of years, lots of effort, money, lots of drug candidates failing, some succeeding, other few succeeding. That's of course why AI is trying to help improve things. So, but overall, I mean, beyond that, I mean, we also talk about hidden costs. I mean, come with adopting some of these AI-enabled tools, pay upfront costs, but then there are hidden costs, which you may not think of: training, equipment maintenance, equipment upgrading, and all that. And then for even larger healthcare institutions, where there might be way more infrastructural demands. I mean, if they get it wrong, it's definitely going to be costlier for them because of they are bigger institutions. So yeah, so there are a lot of things to consider. Vendor locking, you get a vendor, and if you don't like it, it's hard to move. A whole bunch of really data formats, uh, payments, contracts, and all that. Of course, the talents and the reimbursement landscape, especially for larger healthcare institutions. And these are some of the intricacies that people need to think about, trying to understand the financial um, challenges they are getting into and finding ways to resolve that. Um, Now, the question is, how do you find a way to address some of the financial challenges? Well, I mean, find affordable tools if you can. Um, some of the tools are way costlier than others. Or from your initial analysis, trying to understand who you are and what you need, you might say, okay, like, can this work for us? Can we start from here? Um, of course, everyone talking about standardized data formats. How do we make sure that data can be ported from one system to the other, unplugged, plugged to another system, you know, seamlessly? So these are some of the challenges, or rather solutions that we are seeking to improve things. Yeah, challenges, solutions. So yeah, and of course, training programs. How do you launch things and make sure it doesn't cost so much money? Of course, everyone is encouraged to be advocates of policy change, which will open up things. Of course, make more funding available, make things much more affordable. So, availability, affordability, giving us more accessibility. So, yeah, be advocates wherever you find yourself, big, small, encourage ways to look at some of these innovations, provide funding for them, make them more affordable, support them. So, of course, a big one, alternative funding models beyond banks, beyond the grants, beyond the loans, beyond the debts, and all that. So, are the alternative funding models, innovative ones that can help make it easier? There are things like revenue, RBF, revenue-based funding, for instance, which we are very bullish on and will be having deeper conversation. I think even next week now might be one of our major areas of focus, trying to understand power in RBF. So beyond that, there are a whole bunch of other tools, subscription models, which everyone knows about. Um, you know, sharing, breaking down payments, of course, um, and so on and so forth. So the idea is, what do we need? How do we make it easier for us to afford them? Yeah. So now, our recommendations for small clinics, is to usually start small. I mean, well, whether you are big or you're small, start small. Well, even if you're a startup, start small. You are a startup, start small. A big company, start small. AI tools can be complex, especially if you don't understand it. So the best way to go about it is start small, focus on a particular area, nail it, get it done, and then you can move to other areas. Um, and of course, seek for grants and external funding. And collaborate with peers. Try to see who wants what. Can we work together? Can we collaborate? Can we partner and get some of these things going? Maybe find a way to reduce the costs for one another. So yeah, so that's one of the things we recommend clinicians think about. Of course, leverage open source solutions. Well, I mean, that's a big one. Of course, you need to be a little bit of technical to understand some of these things. But the idea is some things are paid for, some others are free. Why don't you go for the free one if they're going to serve you, if they will help you, especially at the early stages? Well, that requires having some understanding about what some of these things are, which is exactly one of the reasons why at MedNeed we are looking at, providing a bunch of resources to train people to have a deeper understanding about some of these things. But the point is, you can look for open source tools that will be free or this way less costly than more proprietary or private tools out there. Of course, be an advocate of change, much like advocating for policy change, trying to be a guy that goes out there and talk about the need to leverage some of these technologies. The more people who use them, it's like going to drive down the cost. And beyond that, it helps make funding more available. Yeah. So of course for bigger institutions, pretty much the same thing. Work on standardizing your infrastructure to make it easy to move. Explore of course the alternative funding model. Advocates of change, partner with other bigger institutions. Big guys can easily convince big guys to work with them. Make some of these things way more affordable. Of course, upskilling your workforce. Which of course if you do that, they're gonna be able to understand some of these things better and they'll be able to leverage some of the solutions way better than say you are trying to do it alone. Yeah, so now before you take on some of these tools, an important thing to ensure is does it make sense? That's like the bottom line. Like I'm gonna pay a lot of money for this tool. I'm gonna be taking money from one area and feeding it into this particular area. Does it make sense? It goes back to what we talked about earlier. Sit down, do the cost benefit analysis, try to understand some of these things. Um, yeah, in trying to do that, of course, we encourage people to collaborate with other people, engage payers, insurance, and other organizations, have a deeper conversation, break down the cost structure, trying to take it from A to C, like, okay, what are the things involved, understand things at a fundamental level, understand the unit costs. And if you do that, you'll be able to extrapolate. This is going to help us with the financing makes sense. And if it makes sense, how and when are we going to be able to recover the costs? Are we going to price it like the solutions to the patients, for instance? So all these are the things we encourage people to do to make adoption and implementation way more seamless. We are not going to waste time. some of these for now. Maybe we'll go deeper in the coming weeks. Yeah. So now, quickly, let's look at some of the viable financing options. Of course, we have a lot of government initiatives and subsidies. There are a whole bunch of them out there. You can for them and see if they can help, depending on your region and your location. Um, Obviously, private sector collaboration, which comes in various forms. It could be between the vendor and the provider, trying to figure out how they can work together and reduce the costs and enhance benefits for one another. For instance, most AI developments require data. Now, if the healthcare professional can be able to contribute data, perhaps the vendor can say, okay, maybe we can reduce the cost for you. Maybe if you want to be able, part of the research team, maybe they can. Reduce the cost. So the point is there are a whole bunch of areas we could look at to be able to help make the funding easier for one another. Yeah. RBF, I'm going to come back to that in a second. But of course, leasing the equipment, instead of like, it's more like subscription model, instead of buying them outright, you can say, okay, I'm going to lease them and this in a small amount over time. That works. Health reimbursements for regions where that's obtainable is very essentially, for being able to take on some of these innovative schools and tools and sort of like focus on outcomes. So the more people you can get healthy using some of these tools, the more reimbursements you have. It comes in various flavors. So yeah, for various regions. But like I said, the RBF, the revenue-based financing, is a big one. We are bullish on. We are working on to expand. Basically, the idea is you not like partnership anyway, essentially, but the idea is the payment is dependent on the outcome. The better the outcome, the more the payment, the less the outcome, the less the payment. The more you use the tool, the more you pay, the less you use the tool, the less you pay. So these are um, some of the features of RBF. Like I mentioned, we're going to go deeper into that in the coming weeks. Let's flow for now. Um, other financing sources, venture capitals, especially for healthcare startups, whether it's like the developers of AI tools or even providers, some providers with some structures that are attractive to venture capitalists that works to get funding. A bunch of them are there names. But of course, angel investors, some of them are very free. They want better healthcare systems. They can, of course, support and provide funding, crowdfunding as well. Go out there, tell people what you are trying to do, and seek inputs and funding from the crowd, from everyone who shares your passion and vision for improved healthcare using some of these tools. Social impact bonds, a little bit more complicated, but the idea essentially is much like not really funding, but crowdfunding, but of course, bonds trying to get people to sort of benefit or invest and get returns from what you do. But of course, being social impact, people are looking at what are the outcomes in society. Um, yeah, but of course, people raise money through that as well. Collaborations and partnerships, always the big one. Trying to find out how you can collaborate with partners to reduce costs, collaborate with partners to raise money, collaborate with partners to sort of share data and collaborate with partners to pool funds and get some of these things have more bargaining power. So the partnerships could be between clinics and vendors, clinics and bigger institutions. So there are a whole bunch of partnerships we could explore. At the end of the day, the idea is to make some of these things affordable and make the finance available for procurement or acquisition of the tool you're looking for. Yeah, so now some of the things we do, we sort of work on is educating people on the power of strategic partnerships. So educating people the power of innovation. Innovation not just in the tech, but innovation in the way we try to find some of these things. So the idea, the big idea here is, listen, we can always be creative. We can always be, be innovative. Talk to people, explore options. Have conversation. Look at people with shared interest. We have this. We need this. How do we go about it in a mutually beneficial manner for everyone involved? So we encourage a lot of creativity and trying to explore, get financing for some of these tools. So yeah, it's something we do a lot. Don't just relax. Don't just say it's not possible. Don't just say you can't do it. The innovation is not just in the tech. Innovation is not just in the process. It's not just in the science. It's of course available in the financing. Of course, that's everyone's. That economics do that a lot. So, but for us, I think it's something we need to be thinking a lot more about, with the main aim of having access to some of these innovative tools. Um, Hopefully we'll be able to finish in 30 minutes mark. But I mean, yeah, the thing here now is AI has come to stay. AI is transforming healthcare. AI is moving things forward. And it's up to us to see how we can leverage some of these tools and move forward and contribute to the development of healthcare in our local settings and across the world. Don't be shy. Don't hold yourself back. Explore, think, work, look at options out there, and you never know what you will find. You never know. So we believe as we get more understanding about the landscape of the innovations out there, and then find ways to be able to somehow to big challenge out there, of course, which is being able to afford some of these things, we'll be able to make advances, ensuring we're having much more patient-centered healthcare, efficient healthcare services, optimized systems that work for everyone, not just for the patient, but also for the provider. The provider needs to have better outcome for himself as well, his health, his stress level, his finances, and other areas. So the idea is, let's leverage AI-enabled tools and move the healthcare system forward. Um, just to kind of summarize, we need strategic planning to be able to find our way of our ways or way of financing healthcare. AI-enabled healthcare solutions. Clinicians can contribute to the evolution of healthcare way more than we are doing right now. It all boils down to having the will to do that. And then the idea at the end of the day is much more patient-centered healthcare systems. And if technology can help us do that, fine. And the most important thing is that technology helps us. Technology doesn't replace human beings. Technology doesn't take over, professionals. Technology enhances, augments the work of professionals. And like we normally say, the clinician of tomorrow is not the clinician who is replaced by AI or the AI, clinician, so to say. But it's the clinician that works with AI. It's sort of like man-machine hybrid. So that is the future. And it's a future we should be excited about and happy to embrace. Yeah, just to end, this is basically informational purposes only, not to be considered financial advice. I'm not taking more serious financial statements in this session. So yeah, thank you everyone who joined. Um, yeah, share it, share what we've learned. Like we mentioned, this is basically like a primer to some of the things we'll be sharing and talking about in the coming weeks. Go deeper, we'll be having way more people coming to have these conversations. We'll be inviting way more specialists in various areas of healthcare, financing, of various aspects of AI for healthcare. I think we will be excited about some of the things we'll be discussing. We should be excited about the prospects. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. feel free to reach out to us on admin@medley.com, and then we can pick it up from there. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. We're happy to get feedback from email, of course, but also from from the comment sections of our various channels where we are sharing this message. Feel free to reach out to us, have a conversation, share our work. In the coming weeks, of course, we'll be having deeper, way more important resources out there, and we're happy to work with everyone to move healthcare forward and achieve better outcomes for everyone, especially patients. Yeah, thank you very much, and good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. All right. Thank you, and join us next week and subsequently as we go deeper and better in our conversations to make AI available for healthcare advancement locally and globally, for better outcomes. Thank you so much. Bye. And maybe I'll wait around for a few minutes. And then if you have any questions, feel free to share right now or later. All right. Bye.